So this next the actual first topic of the episode is our top 5 video game pet peeves. Last episode we did our top 5 board game pet peeves. And I thought it was appropriate to do our video game pet peeves because I definitely have a few of those. All right, so I guess I'll start. I don't think I've started a top 5 in a while.
Go ahead.
Go.
All right, here we go. That means Eric's got the last one. Now, before we do this, there's a little bit of context. I'm assuming it was just like the board game pet peeves where it is the gameplay or like stuff about the game, not necessarily like the player base and things like that.
Yes, that's how I did it. Uh-oh.
Whoa. Not that I care, Matt. I mean, it's your list. Maybe?
Matt's is all about the players.
All right, we'll see what happens. I can't stand people.
Just one.
Okay. I can't stand Xbox Live.
Yeah.
My number 5 is large dead zones in analog sticks. So if you're not familiar, when a game company makes a game that has analog stick controls, usually first-person shooters and stuff like that, they have a dead zone. So when you tilt the analog stick, there is a dead zone where nothing happens until you reach a certain point, and then something starts registering the analog stick motion. So what prompted this again is Halo. I always remembered Halo having this problem.
I never noticed.
Yeah, when you tilt that analog stick, it does nothing
until a certain point.
Whereas,
I must have just got used to it.
Yeah, right. A lot of people are used to it. Modern day games don't have as big of a dead zone, and some games actually have options to where you can set the dead zone and like lower it. But I like games where you immediately touch the analog stick and stuff happens. Even if it's like a very subtle movement, and then it's fast when you push it all the way. So that is my thing. Have you ever noticed that, Matt?
Yeah.
You hate that?
I think I just get usst to it.
That's fair.
Get over it.
I do end up getting used to it, but initially it bothers me every time. So that's why it's in my top 5. But all right, Matt, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is I get tired of crazy long boss fights that are super repetitive, and they just seem like you're doing the same thing over, which I guess is, it's just, I don't know. The boss fight, it's not making it more epic,
right?
Just because it's long and repetitive.
Exactly. So I totally agree. It's like, I don't want to do the same thing.
Yes.
Right, hit him here, hit him here, hit him here, dodge. Hit him here, hit him here, hit him here. Yeah. So you're just doing the same thing.
Right.
You know what? It's interesting because going off of that, Mario Odyssey is kind of the same thing, but it's almost too short. It's like mechanic.
The boss fights are really...
the boss fights are almost like meh.
Actually, did I not write that down?
What games?
No, I think I meant to write and also just anticlimactic.
No, just too quick.
Like
too
it's
easy.
It's the biggest. I've been waiting the whole game to fight this guy, and it's like that was it.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
So you want some Sephiroth battles?
Yeah, to a point.
Of course, Sephiroth is probably long and drawn out for no reason.
Most of those Final Fantasy VII boss fights were. But.
Yeah. So, Eric, what's your number 5?
Number 5 for me is having those mindless achievements or trophies. Get 1,000 kills or find these 100 hidden objects throughout the game. So
you're annoyed on optional content.
Yes.
You don't like trophies?
I do like trophies and stuff. I was like, that's fine, but don't make me spend 20 hours scouring the game.
Oh yes.
For random hidden objects. If you want to platinum it or whatever.
Well, what about the Borderlands 1 trophy? Play it with somebody who's played with or play it with a person from Gearbox.
Really?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I have that trophy if you need it.
Oh, yeah?
You just have to play with somebody who has the trophy or play with it.
So it's kind of like a virus.
Yes.
Like a virus. Okay.
It's basically a virus trophy. There are websites. I guess
that's kind of neat.
It's neat. There's websites out there where you can organize to get it and it organize to help people. Or there's like basically trophy achievement websites where you can organize with other players to actually get trophies and achievements.
You made me think of one, Eric.
No, good.
It's not the same one, but...
My number 4 is scaling of enemies or zones, typically in RPGs, typically in all of Bethesda's games, where it's like, it doesn't matter where you go, it is going to be the level that you are. Hate it.
What do you mean?
Like, for instance, in Fallout or Skyrim or whatever, it doesn't matter where you go. You go find this cave, it is your level. If you don't touch that cave until the end of the game, it is now your level.
Mm-hmm.
I like games like World of Warcraft or, like games where it's like, I obviously should not be here right now.
Because this is a noob zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe because it's like, you're fighting in a noob zone. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is awesome. The whole area is like all this like level 6 and 7 and there's a dragon. You're like, what? Type it. It's not really a dragon, but idea wise.
Right.
You're like, I'll stay away from that, but I'll remember you're here and I'm going to come back and kill you.
Yeah. You're level 25. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that bother you at all, Matt?
I do miss the old school, like the further you get from home, the more dangerous, it's supposed to get.
Exactly.
I do miss that. Obviously, I love Fallout and Skyrim, and I get what you're saying. I guess I just get over it.
That's fair. All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4.
Has it changed? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I had to redo all my numbers.
Oh.
I made it on honorable mention. My number 4 is, where do I go? What do I do? There are times on boards where you're cussing, you're getting so frustrated.
It's like,
and it's usually something simple.
Mm-hmm.
You're just
you
overlooking
just something. Yeah.
But yes, just when you hit that weird, like you just hit the wall and you can't figure out what in the world to do to advance the level or just to get out of a room or whatever.
Or you don't know to jump up on the platform right above you.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's
sometimes it's obvious stuff that you're just overlooking because you're getting so frustrated.
I have to go on YouTube or Google it and be like, all right, give me a walkthrough of
and
this
then it's
level.
usually a really that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have to do that all the time because our kids are going through a lot of the Lego games.
Yes. Okay.
And they get stuck and they're like, Dad, help us out. And I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out for you. And I can't figure it out. So I'm like, all right, I'll be back. And I have to, Google it and look at a walkthrough or something.
Yeah, because Lego games are essentially like one big long puzzle.
Right.
You're trying to get through. So
are they like puzzles? They're not just linear beat stuff up?
They are linear. You do beat stuff, but there are puzzles.
No, it's like most of the game is puzzle-y kind of stuff.
Using the different characters because all the different characters have different abilities
to do stuff. Yeah, only this.
So you come across a block that only one character can break.
Yes, exactly, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. My number 3 is. Oh, sorry, Eric.
I want to do number 4.
Eric
wants to do number 4.
My bad.
My number 4 is fix save points for checkpoints. The reason I don't like these is because sometimes, you're playing through and you got to go. Mm-hmm. You can't, someone's calling you, you got to go up for dinner, whatever. But you can't, it's like, all right, honey, let me get to the next save point. And, it takes you another 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. So I like games where it just lets you save wherever you're at.
Rest mode.
Yeah. This is why I like the PlayStation Vita, the PSP, phones, the Switch. Playing, lock the device, walk away. It's right there when you get back.
Right.
Now, obviously if you have to fix save zone and you don't get to one, your battery dies, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But typically it's okay. Or if you're playing iOS, it just happens to restart the game. Because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't bother me as much, but like nowadays. But back in the day when it's like you're playing old school RPGs or old school like platforming games, there's like a save point every 45 minutes kind of deal. That's problematic.
Yeah.
My number 3 is equipped items still take up inventory space. Why? If I wield a sword, it is no longer my backpack.
That is true.
Is that hard to understand? Does that bother you at all? This is the top 3. This is annoying.
I don't see it in a lot of games, but that would be annoying.
In a lot of games, isn't it in your Galaxy Heroes game that you always try to get me to play? I'm pretty sure it is. No?
No. I mean...
Oh, no, it's not, actually.
No.
Is it in Skyrim? I think it's in Skyrim, right?
Okay, so if you're
wielding anything, a shield or a sword, it's also taking room in your backpack.
Yeah, you got 50 inventory spaces and 6 characters.
Well, Skyrim goes by weight, so
that's true.
I guess I could see where maybe they say that you are burdened by it.
Yeah.
They do it like
because you still have it on you. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of games
Did Diablo do it?
No, Diablo has spaces to put items.
Spaces, okay.
there are a lot of games. I'm drawing a blank, but I come across it pretty frequently, where it's like for instance, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius does it. Your inventory has all the weapons, and when you go into your inventory, it says like who it's equipped by. You have 150 spaces, but all 10 items that one dude has is taking up all those 10 spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's annoying. Like, the character clearly does not, or character clearly has it on him. So, whatever. So, equipped items taking up inventory.
So it's freed up. That space should be freed up.
Free up that space. If I have 50 items.
That dude's wearing it.
And I wear a helmet, it is no longer in my backpack.
What number are we on?
Number 3.
Number 3. This is kind of a 2-part thing, but I cannot stand backtracking, and especially if the game does not give me fast travel.
Whoa, so you don't like Castlevanias or Metroids?
Backtracking?
I feel like you backtrack in those games all the time. Like you go to
2 you did. Castlevania 2. Oh, Metroid, yes, it's annoying.
Yeah, you get a new, you're playing, you're like, I can't get there. When I get high jump, I'm coming back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not so much that, it's more for like RPGs. Like, I just came from that area and you're going to send me back. You know, it's just pointless like walking back and forth between points.
That's fair. You go to a new area, it gives you all quests for the previous zone.
Yeah, and so it's just when you got to just go back the way you just came, or just even go to a space that's far away and you're just walking because they just think it makes it more epic of a trail.
Right. Because
you're
putting in
waste your
time,
time
effort.
and Dragon Quest. I mean, come on now. Just quit. I wish these wolves would quit attacking me. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of the werewolves. Quit attacking me, guys, and the scorpions and stuff.
Yeah, I like
a gold slime or silver slime.
I like Dragon's Dogma. It has a little bit of that.
I just bought that.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh, please tell me how you like it, because it's fantastic.
I'll play it soon.
Yeah,
but anyways,
top 3 RPGs right there. Like you play through it, you complete like an entire area, you clear it out, and then they give you like one like kind of minor quest to go back through and do it. But going through the area takes you like 15 minutes. Getting to the area takes you 15 minutes. Getting back takes you the 30 minutes. So it's kind of like, seriously, why couldn't you have given me this quest when I was doing it?
Right.
That's actually one thing I didn't put on here. You go and complete an area, and then it unlocks all kinds of quest hubs. It's like, I just spent a lot of time here.
Running all around.
Couldn't have just done all this at the same time. But anyway.
Number 3.
I stole Matt's glory.
No. So number 3 for me is microtransactions, which actually I don't mind in a game that's free, but when I buy a game, I don't like seeing a lot of microtransactions. It's like, all right, if I want this, a certain item or this certain skin, I'm gonna have to pay up for it.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't mind cosmetics, but microtransactions on stuff, it's like, buy this damage boost bottle, 50% damage increase for an hour.
For an hour, right.
Really? So you mean I could pay to be better at the game? Awesome. Yep, I'm not a fan of that.
Nope.
My number 2 is weak death penalties.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not
you
saying...
like to get hurt. Like,
no, I like...
You die, you lose stuff.
Let me explain. I don't like overly harsh penalties, but I like penalties that actually gives you some sort of fear factor to the game.
Sure.
Like, for instance, Mario Odyssey. Whatever, I died. Whatever.
Back at the checkpoint.
Yeah, Mario 1, you die 3 or 4 times, you start the game over.
Game over, right.
So there was a little bit more fear factor in the old school Mario games than there are now in the new Mario games. In the new RPGs, especially MMOs, you die. Literally, it means nothing. Oh, you lose 10% durability. Okay, I'll pay the 47 copper out of my 50,000 gold.
The RPGs I played in the past, you lost like...
EverQuest?
10% of your XP or something, and that was like 3 days of grinding.
Yeah. EverQuest was a little bit harsh. You lost...
Even WoW did that, didn't they? 10%?
WoW was... No, you didn't lose any... Unless, I don't remember even vanilla doing that.
I could have swore you lost XP from dying.
You had to run. You lost durability on all your equipped weapons and gear, which means you lose money.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe in vanilla
No, I think I'm thinking of the resting bonus.
but I don't know.
Where you would get extra 10% for
questing and stuff.
yeah, for questing and stuff. I think I'm thinking of the other way.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I like resting bonuses. I like rested bonuses. What?
So it is an odd thing to wish for, but I agree. Yeah, so there is adding a death penalty kind of adds to the game in a way where you're like, all right, I need to not die or do my best.
Yes.
Instead of whatever, whatever happens.
Right. It gives you an incentive to not do stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, whoa. Like in EverQuest, and one thing, all right, so the death penalty was a little harsh. You literally died. You lost like literally days of grinding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, you could get res and get the XP back, but you had to know somebody who could do it.
All of it back or some of it back?
You can get up to 90% unless the cleric had their epic weapon, then they can get 96%. So you can get quite a bit of it back, but more importantly, your body is where you died with all your stuff on it.
Right.
You spawn back at your bind point, which could be literally across the entire world, and it might take you an hour, but you can get back to your body.
Yeah, surrounded by all kinds of stuff that just killed you.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, you want it to not be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, you can go into, like, zones that were, like, vertically ascended, and you start at the top. You don't want to just jump off. Like, in WoW, I could just be like, meh, we'll see what's down there. Oh, I died. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
So I like a little bit of a fear factor, but not so much that I'm terrified to do things.
Right.
So, like,
That's
Destiny is okay in its death penalties. I mean, the lack of that.
None.
The only penalty it has, though, which is cool, is in raids, you can only res each other once.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then if you all run out of reses and you all die, you wipe.
You start over. Mm-hmm.
You start the fight over. That's cool. I don't mind that because it means I don't want to do dumb stuff to die because I don't want to start this fight over.
Right. And that fight might take you 30 minutes or an hour.
Right. So it's okay in that aspect. In casual play, it doesn't matter. You die, whatever. Mm-hmm. We die all the time. We push each other off ledges.
Right.
It's silly. But anyway, that's death penalties.
What we're doing, 2?
Yep. Yes, correct.
My number 2 is, oddly enough, I put episodic games.
Episodic games.
Which is hilarious because you like all the Telltale games.
Yes. But thinking about it, though, like, because I do remember the first Telltale game we played, we did it all at once. And I remember sitting down with the kids. But it became problematic after the second season came out because we played a little bit and they would only release them like every 3 weeks or something like that. That's actually what killed us from playing the game. Because we got to a point where I think a new episode downloaded and I wasn't aware of it. And then we got within like a 2-month margin. And then it's like, I don't even remember what we did and how we got to where we're at. And it was like, do we want to just start over? No, because we're already like 3 episodes in and I don't want to mess with it. So, I mean, I guess I could solve the problem by just doing them all at once. But if you're playing them as they're coming out, I kind of don't like that anymore.
That's fair.
I can see that. Number 2 for me is DLCs at release. I feel that if they did a DLC and they had it at release, it should have been part of the main game. I don't mind DLCs later on because that means they put extra time and effort into adding to the game. So, paying to get that added content, but when there's DLCs and stuff that gets, put in at the same time a game releases, I don't really like that.
No, that's fair. It's fair.
So no DLCs or expansions.
You're right. Yeah. If it's going to come out at the same time, just bundle it together.
If they come out with it like constantly, it keeps you playing it anyway.
Right, and
it makes more sense that way.
Mm-hmm.
My honorable mention is kind of DLC related, but it's DLC content that's included on the disc.
Yes.
No, stop it.
Right, they already had that stuff. They already put it. They're like, all right, we're gonna save on our server costs.
I can't think of this ever happening.
Like Capcom has done it with a lot of fighters and Street Fighter and things like that.
Okay, maybe that's why, because I usually don't play.
Destiny does it.
No, Destiny didn't do it.
The original Destiny, I believe, Destiny 1 already had the DLC on the disc. You bought it later, and it unlocked it from your disc.
I don't know if it's already on the disc or they made it download in one of the updates. I'd have to look that up, but I do know that a lot of EA and Activision games do that, where the full DLC is on the disc itself. That is a problem.
Well,
I should own everything on that disc.
Yeah. Well, even with Destiny 2, even if you don't have the annual pass or anything, they have you, when you update, they have you download all that game content already. It just doesn't unlock it unless you pay for it. But you already have it on your system.
Yeah, no, I guess that's... So, if you're talking MMOs and constant living worlds and stuff, it's slightly different. Because you kind of have to have some of that content, because if somebody else has it and they walk around with a piece of armor, you got to be able to see that.
That's true.
But, like, having fighters on Street Fighter or whatever that's in the game files on your disc that can't be unlocked unless you pay money is stupid.
Right. It was already out. It should have been part of the original release.
Yeah. When you get into online world, it just makes more sense to kind of have everything on your computer. Plus, at that time, if you just unlock that expansion.
Oh, yeah, it makes it much easier.
Bam, I'm going there now.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But mostly like non-online games, if they include stuff on the disc that you have to pay to unlock
it,
that's silly.
Right.
Anyway, that's my honorable mention.
My honorable mention was my number 1, but I figured I would change it real quick.
All right.
I actually put like sportsmanship, the way players act, kind of deal, griefing, all that good stuff that annoys us, but it's not part of the game. It's the way people act.
Teabagging you.
doing constant emotes,
sliding around in Destiny for Tim.
Camping graveyards.
For the longest time in Destiny 2, people would run at you with a shotgun and slide and kill you. And I thought it was the most...
And, well, that not only... They just slide around the whole time. They're like, run,
well,
slide,
that's true,
run, slide, run, slide.
But like because you do get a little speed boost on the slide. I kind of get that. But when they slide kill you, I thought it was like some kind of, I'm better than you kind of thing. And then later I found out it's actually an ability that when you slide, it reloads a portion of the clip.
Oh. Yeah.
So I retracted that. I retracted that statement. Okay, that's fine. You know, it's not like you're playing League of Legends and it's like 58-5 and they keep killing you. It's like, come on, you're just destroy the crystal.
End the game. Yeah.
We're not even moving. So anyway, I agree with you, Matt. Yeah. Sportsmanship.
All right, I actually got 2 over here. I have overly powerful boss fights where it's like, oh my goodness, I got to get so lucky and time it just right to finish this boss off. If I make one little bitty mistake, it one-shots me.
Yeah.
So I don't like when they're super, super hard.
I'm okay if it's an optional boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Because that's like the challenge of it.
Mm-hmm.
But.
And also, so there's a lot of games that is so puzzly where you can't figure it out unless you're, you study this game all around. You have to hit up, Google or YouTube to figure out how to figure out a puzzle or how to get through a game. We kind of, touched on that a little bit prior.
Jump puzzles?
Jump puzzles are amazing. Amazing.
Yes. Some of them I have Jake log in and be like, Jake, just do it for me.
That's funny. All right, so number ones. My number 1 pet peeve in video games, which, by the way, this list could be like a top 100, and this is the top 50 of them. Vague ability, equipment, item, any kind of vague info increases your aim.
How
by
much?
What? Grants attack power. By how much?
Yes.
Oh my, dude, this is so annoying. So annoying. We live in an age where we can just get on the internet and click things to find out all this data mined stuff to know that this one's 5%, this one's 10%, this one's 15%.
Did XVS ever cut that out, or do they?
They've did a little bit. I'd say it's 50-50. Like it's in the beginning of XVS, it's like this weapon has shards of valor. I'm just making something up. Great. What's that do?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah.
Like, that's garbage.
Figure it out.
Just tell me what it does and tell me all the stats. Or if anything, I'm pretty sure Guild Wars 2 did this. where there's an enhanced tooltip. So if you go look at your item, it's like, you know, gives you attack power. But if you go and click the check mark in the options, it's like increases your attack power by +5 or whatever. Like, so people who don't want to do all the math and stuff like that, whatever, they can see the base stuff, but they have an option to click it to get all the details from a granular power level, like mindset.
Right.
I just don't see why it's because, like, if for instance in Destiny 2, if it gives you your helmet will have an ability that says it gives you, you know, better like aim for like certain types of weapons, right? Like small arms or something. So maybe your side arms and your pistols have better aim, but then it might have another one that's like grants you good aim for like kinetic weapons, and then there's one that's like grants you great aim for the terminology here is wrong, but you know, in hand or like for a hand cannon. And then there's ones enhanced hand cannon aiming and stuff. So like all those are kind of in that order. It's like small to large, but you don't know what the percentages is. And you might be thinking, oh, I'd like to use bows and shotguns, so I'll use this one. Well, it's not as good as using just the bow one. And it's definitely not as good as using the enhanced bow one. So just define this. It's not hard.
Yeah, but nowhere in the game can you actually see, it's like, oh, I got 20% extra because I have this helmet or this item.
And like, for instance, everything on the stats of the guns is a bar. Okay, what's the bar mean? This one's clear. Is it? Is this one? It looks like it has a little bit more damage.
A little more.
A little bit more. Hold on, bring up the other one. Oh, I can't compare items? Great, that's cool. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Vague stats and ability information.
Yeah, I like it.
My number one, it's such a trivial thing to hate, but I hate tutorials, and when they're done in like story fashion, it's like, I don't care about my sensei trying to teach me these little button mashing moves. It's not helping me. And anyways,
so you don't like Parappa the Rappa? Kick.
No, that's different. That's different. But like, you know, it was revisited whenever I was playing Kingdom Hearts. It was like, this is your splash magic attack. It's used, and I think it was Mickey or someone was running around like teaching it to me, and it's like, just give me a box that tells me what to do. I don't have to like prove to you I can do it.
It's like every mobile game ever.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Except it's even worse in mobile games because it's usually like you cannot click anything besides what I highlight.
Yes. And you can't bypass this. You must go through.
Right, exactly.
Like
so
your initiation.
I am so over tutorials. I'm done with them.
That's fair.
Just give me an instruction manual. I'll read it and figure it out.
How awesome is it? It's like, would you like the tutorial? Yes or no? Oh my gosh. No. Okay, you can replay this by going to the menu.
Figure it out.
Or the full one, or a brief, overview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, Eric, what's your number one pet peeve in video games?
Mine is actually kind of weird. I hate it when they make my character mute, where he does not talk throughout the entire game. There's cutscenes, but he never talks.
How did you get through? Well, just stuff for cutscenes.
How did you get through Destiny?
What exactly? Yeah, Destiny.
It's because that character is everybody.
But that's fine. Just give him any kind of voice. It doesn't have to be my voice. I don't need to hear my voice. Just make him talk and interact with other players, or not other players, or people in the cutscene. They always have him say nothing. Well, in Destiny, you actually have the ghost that kind of does the talking for you. It kind of narrates things. But in a lot of games, your character.
It's like every JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
You walk around, it's like, you're not from around here, are you? Well, let me tell you about this place. It's just like, I don't care.
It's like, give me just a few sentences.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like the gaming creators always feel like the player wants to put themselves
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not always true. Look at Kratos from God of War. People want to be him because he's awesome. I don't necessarily want to be my character in Destiny 2.
Right.
Although it was sick when he was like, well, I don't even remember what he says. But I won't go to the spoiler. Something happens and then your character talks. And you're like, what? Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
One time.
The whole
time.
game.
One time. Yeah, one time. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. We're going to do our final topic.